Hello guys, my name is Diego Pacheco and this video is gonna be a slidecast, a video about Java and a video about machine learning. So I got approved by the early access program of the GitHub Copilot and I wanna show a deck to you guys talking a bit more what is, what is not, also my experiences and also do some live demo for you guys, right? So these are my 2 cents on GitHub Copilot. So how it works. So there is an OpenAI Codex module, I assume on the cloud. It could be on Azure or AWS. GitHub is owned by Microsoft, so I don't know exactly what it is, but it could be easily Azure. And then it says that has access to public code text on the internet. I believe that must be meaning public repositories on GitHub, like popular frameworks or even Stack Overflow. Then there is a service in GitHub called GitHub Copilot Service, and there is plugins for editors where the editor provide context with code and documentation, and that's something really cool about the Copilot. Actually reads the documentation and take that into account. And then Copilot provide as a sort of an autocomplete, give you suggestions, and you actually can pick between suggestions. Often there are 2 or 3 suggestions you can navigate, and you can improve suggestions as it goes. So basically, we are using the model as we use it in our editors. So there are lots of languages that are supported right now: Python, Ruby, Go, JavaScript, TypeScript, and also Java. Although GitHub says that the Copilot actually work for lots of other languages, but it's not specified which ones. The one that I tested was Java. I really want to see how it would play with Java, so that's why I tested Java. So the first reaction is, oh my god, engineers gonna lose their jobs. That's the revolutions of the machines. We are in trouble. But actually, don't worry. If you didn't watch this video about the Boston Dynamics, that's a pretty popular video that the robot kind of fell down the banana leaf and the case and was pretty funny. You can click that and watch there. So we're gonna find, we're gonna throw some bananas on the Copilot and everything gonna be good and okay. All right. So actually, so let's understand actually what's going on. So this is not the revolution of the machines at all. We don't need to be worried about our jobs. You really need to know what you are doing because, as the name says, it is a copilot, it's not a pilot. So we'll not entirely do a gigantic program for you. So I would say it's not ideal for those who are learning, since gonna get code and you not necessarily know that code is correct, or you don't necessarily understand the concepts behind it, or you don't know how to validate. Of course, you could run it, could compile, but it doesn't mean it's doing what it should be doing, right? So definitely you need a pilot there that can judge. And then the compiler in that sense is like your code assistance. I would prefer, honestly, they put the Clippy there. And then the Clippy suggests your code. I think it will be much better. I don't know why they call this Copilot. It should be called Clippy, right? But anyway, that's my rant. End of the rant. So in the way that you should see this, in my point of view, is that you have a code, and code is text, right? So you have a text interface for Stack Overflow. I don't know if exactly if they're using Stack Overflow. I believe they could be. But definitely I see this as Stack Overflow. You go there, you type some sort of a query, you say like, oh, how can I order a vector in Java, or how can I get the current day of the month in Java, or how can I split a string and stuff like that, and then you end up getting some write code that you can copy and paste and it's gonna work, right? And you adapt to your solution. So if you think about it, in the end, this is just cutting the middleman and making from your idea you get code suggestions right away, and that reduces the friction and speed up things, right? So you don't need to Google it or Stack Overflow anymore. Of course, that's sort of over exaggeration. You might need to do that anyways, right? But for minor things, you definitely the Copilot gonna get you, and it's gonna be super useful. So you should use it as a smarter autocomplete. you know, like I said, Copilot, not Pilot. And this is, in the end of the day, is a classification problem, right? So we are training a model for GitHub for free. So for us, we got the coolness of getting completions and being more productive. But what's happening actually is that, you know, I don't know, there's an army of engineers probably testing and feeding the model and sharpening the model for GitHub. And I don't know, my guess is that they're probably going to sell some sort of an API that you're going to pay by request, that you can either use it for other IDEs or for code generation, right? And they're probably going to get money by selling that API and pay on demand module, right? And on that point, depending how much we use, we all are doing the training. So it's an interesting exchange. Like, we train the model for GitHub and probably he builds products with that, right? But that's like a speculation, right? Just to be clear. It can be sometimes silly, simpler, and I'm gonna show you guys that, and also can generate bugs, right? So you really need to watch it. But overall, I need to say it's pretty cool. If you lower down a bit your expectations, it's actually pretty amazing. So I got a golden ticket, so I'm happy. That's why I'm making this video. I entered in copilot.github.com, I think 3 months or 4 months ago, and I subscribed, and finally this month I got my golden ticket. So I got a mail saying from GitHub, welcome to the GitHub Copilot Technical Preview, and then I start having fun. So once you get invited, you get your golden ticket too. There are right now 3 IDEs that are supported. VS Code, of course, IDEA, and now Vim. I like Vim, but I don't like to code Java in Vim. I actually use Space Vim. I definitely would use for IDEA, but you know, I have a bunch of things on IDEA. I do a bunch of, sometimes important or even work on IDEA, so I really didn't want to use IDEA. So I use VS Code because mainly on VS Code, you know, I edit simple scripts and some other things that are less critical. So I thought that, you know, personally, if you want to be spooked about privacy or anything, I feel more compelled to use it on VS Code than IDEA. But if we're talking professionally, I definitely would use on IDEA. But right now, since this is a sort of a social experiment, let's say it, I don't know if this is like round 6 game and there will be a doll at some point, you know, staring at me. So anyway, in that case, I want to, you know, isolate myself. So I'm going with the VS Code, and that's what I did. So now I want to give you guys a demo with Java, and then you can see in action, right? So that's it about the deck. Let's go for my demo. So I have a project here, and I'm gonna open with my VS Code. I already download the plugin. So you need, before, you know, once you get that golden ticket, and then you do all the subscription things, you need to get an extension for your VS Code Copilot. Let me see, this one here. This one needs to be installed. Of course, I already installed it. I already enable. I don't need it. I'm just showing to you guys. Right, and then for this project is a standard Java project with Maven. There's really no big deal. I actually, the first thing I tried just Java class with no project whatsoever and it works. So you really don't need to have a project. You have a single Java file, it's gonna work, all right? But the thing I wanna show on Maven is that I don't have any Copilot dependencies, right? Because that's all done on the editor level, right? It's all on VS Code, right? So let's take a look. The code I have here, right? There you go. So I have a main class with a main method. I'm just printing hello world, and also I'm printing a method isodd passing 24, and isodd. I basically, you know, try to divide by 2, and you know, if this is 1, it's definitely odd, otherwise it's even. And this code here, this one I did it, right? And this one actually was generated by the Copilot for me. So I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna show you guys. But before I do that, right? So I have the Copilot enabled. You can see the Copilot here on an icon on the bottom, right? So you can disable for Java or globally. I'm not disabled for sure. I'm gonna keep it here. So now let's take a look. So it takes some time to give you suggestions, right? So sometimes you need to move around or type something. Other times it's a bit fast. I'm assuming it's doing lots of remote calls. That's must be what's going on. So let's type something. Let's say I did this is odd. Let's say what if I do is even, right? So I'm just gonna type here. I type P, and you can see here I just type P, and then in sort of a different gray, gray, we can see that it's already figured out. Oh, you have is odd. So do you want to do is odd? No, I don't want to do is odd because I already did is odd, right? So that's where it's smart, but not that smart. So let me continue to typing, and then let's say is E. So you see here, I just type E, and then it figured, oh, so probably you want is even, right? And then now I can look the code, I can see that's exactly, let me make a bit bigger. Just one sec. Yes, now I think it's better. So I can see that it gave me the right suggestion. And then I could press tab, and then this code will be a suggestion for me. Or if I remember, I press Alt and square brackets, I can sort of navigate, or it's Control square brackets. No, it's Alt square brackets. I press tab and then complete it. I can navigate in suggestions, right? So I'm gonna pick this one. Then I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna type out. So that's, oh, you see here, on the previous line I did is odd 24. Now he thinks, okay, probably want to do is odd 25, right? No, that's not what I want to do. I want to do is, and then I'm gonna type E, and you can see here that it didn't suggest it because there is a parenthesis in a comma here. So if I remove it, now it works, right? So there's these small things here, but it's not a big deal, right? Yes, that's what I want. I want to see if it's even, and then I'm gonna save it, right? And this is Java code. I can run anytime, and you're gonna see that's working. So hello world, false and true, because it's not odd, it's actually even, right? Now that previous code I had here, let's say I want to print, I want to generate. Oh, look this. I didn't type anything, and it's offering me, okay, do you want to create is prime method? And the reason why it's offering me that is because I was playing with that before. I was trying to define a prime number, so it remember from my previous sessions, right? But that's not what I'm doing right now, so I will ignore it. So I'm gonna type private, it's static, and I wanna make this a list, and I want a list of int, and you see here it's already giving me some crazy suggestions. Get odd numbers, you pass the maximum number, then you get all the odds. So it's trying to guess where I'm going, right? So no, that's not where I'm going. Let me see if I can do the out thing. Yes, so you see here I'm holding out and I'm pressing square brackets, right? And then you can see here there are some suggestions, and here actually you can see the code is the same, but the difference is like in this one is using an int and doing like a classical for, and this one is doing a integer wrapping with for each, right? So it looks like it's like a picking between code styles, right? But that's not anything I want to do. What I want to do is to generate names, right? So I'm gonna type string, and then it's already trying to figure out what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. So I want to generate. Let's see what he's gonna tell me. Generate names. Look, that's cool. But I want to generate, let's say, 10 names. Let's see if it's gonna tell me anything. No, it doesn't tell me, right? Oh, there you go, 10 names, right? And then we get some 10 handle names. But that's funny because, like, if I type 10 like this, I believe I'm gonna get a different suggestion. Let's see. Then let's navigate. Let's see if there's options here. Yeah, there's some different names, right? And this is funny because when I run this before, I got a completely different implementation. Instead of getting like names like this, I got like a random name generation, right? So let's say 10, let's try to play with it. So 10 random names. Let's see what happens with that. And then open a parenthesis. Oh, there you go. Here, because I said, look how smart this thing is. Because I said handle names, now it provided me a completely different code. And as you see here, it is not complete because I don't have that generate handle name method. But I'm gonna accept it, right? So I'm gonna press tab. But then it generates a bug now because this code clearly does not compile because I don't have that generate name method. If I run, you're gonna see here that fails to compile. Yeah, it runs because it's running a jar, right? And I have the jar, that's why it's working. But let me see if I do this, it should blow. Yeah, there you go, compilation error. But then this is smart, right? Because I'm gonna do an enter. And let's see what it's gonna suggest for me. I'm just gonna do another enter. And then look, it's suggesting to me the method that's missing, right? But I don't want this method, so I'm gonna use the alt square brackets to see what options does it have. Oh, look, this one here. You're gonna use the word name and then math.handle. That's good enough. Then I press tab, and that's it. I got it. Now I just gonna call it here. But look, you can ask him to do stuff by comments like print generate 10 generated names. Let's see what he thinks about that. I'm gonna give an enter, and then it creates an array list. Okay, that's fine. Me go back again. Okay, I want. Oh, I don't know why it's not going. Let me give some space. Yeah. I need to type. Okay. Yeah, there's some bugs. I was doing tab, was not working. But anyway, now, But then look, it's kind of doing the code again, right? I don't want to do that. I want to call the method, right? So maybe I need to say call generate then random then random names and print. That's what we got here. Aha! Now it's a bit better. It creates a list of strings for me, and it put it there, but that's not the want. So let me see if I tell, okay, so print this. What can you do for me? Suggestions. So let me see. No, let's see. Print ln this. Okay, what it does for me. Any suggestions? Do I enter? Sometimes you need to do an enter. Look here, this suggestion is kind of a lame because it's giving me, the same comment. And you cannot control space because then you get like a standard IDE. This thing is like when you type or do enters, and then you can see there's this thing here. You change the icon, start to spin it, and then you see something, right? So here, let's see if I can get this to print. No, that's not the one. Print this. Let's see if that's smart. Nope. If I remove the spaces. There you go. Finally. You see, it was not working. I had a bunch of space. I deleted the space. There is small annoyances, right? But then tabs, I have to press tab like 5 times. But then here, there we go. Finally, I got what I want, right? So I'm gonna delete this, and then I'm just gonna compile to get a jar again, and then I'm gonna run. Yeah, I got my 10 names. I did some tests before, and for instance, you can see stuff here. I have an image folder, and here, all right, I was playing some things before, like I was trying, okay, I was trying to validate CPF, which is something unique for Brazil, it's like or SSN, and then he was trying to look, the length was 11, so yeah, actually can get some local stuff here from Brazil. I was asking for is valid email, and then I can see some interesting regex popping up. This was the named ones that I was showing you guys, but you see here that here didn't use the word random. I was just saying names, and today I have to use the word random because otherwise names was hard coded. So it's live and it's changing. So you might get, for the same code, you might get different suggestions today or tomorrow because the model is a live thing, is being trained, and it changes. And here was showing like the continuation of this, right? As you do this, there's a bug, and then if you do space, it will suggest the next method for you. And here I showed this actually when this one, he was smart, just type private. He knew exactly how to suggest the is even for me. This one was a pretty cool one. I just put in comment reverse a string for me, and he got exactly method for me. This one was a bit buggy. I said get me the current year. It said 2018 to me. And that was the one I tested. So I saved it to show you guys. So that's it for today. That is the GitHub Copilot. I hope you guys like this video. See you next time. Take care. Cheers.